Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan.
Our next guest is Angel Barna of Troth & Company. Angel Barna is a health insurance broker who brings years of insurance expertise to all of her clients. I know that because after we had her on the show last time, I became a client, and I have loved working with her. She's helped hundreds of businesses and individuals over the years. Angel empowers business owners, Medicare beneficiaries, and individuals navigate the rough waters of healthcare. She takes her clients from a place of confusion to confidence and understanding. By taking the time to personally understand each client's individual needs, she tailors options and solutions that meet both their goals and budget. Angel, first and foremost, is a proud mom of 2 kids and a dog lover. In her spare time, she enjoys watching her daughter compete, flower gardening, spending time in Westport with her kids crabbing, and I wonder if that's catching crabs or just listening to them be crabby, and beachcombing. Welcome to the show, Angel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, what does your daughter compete?
So Ashlyn does soccer, and she does some kickboxing, which she's kind of banned from due to a back injury, but she's a really good goalie. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Angel, you are a return guest.
Yes.
But still, some listeners may want to get to know you. Now that you're done with annual enrollment, what are some things you have free time to enjoy?
I actually don't have any free time.
Oh, you don't?
I love the idea.
Yeah, good concept, huh?
Yeah, I don't. I just don't fund a new agency, and so that's taking up a lot of my time, and the transition has taken up the rest of my time. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, do you have plans for the holiday? You going to at least kick back and relax a little bit?
Yeah, my parents are going to come up, and I'm cooking, and
Nice.
it's going to
Nice.
be so nice. Yeah.
What you cooking?
Okay, my dad's he's a 30-year meat cutter, so we're doing prime rib. Every year we do prime rib.
Nice.
So, yeah.
30-year meat cutter? You mean every holiday for 30 years?
No,
or
my
just-
dad cut meat for 30
Oh, he
years.
did? He
Oh,
was
wow.
literally a
Yep.
butcher?
Yep.
Nice.
So we
Ooh.
we're every Christmas prime rib.
Give me
yeah.
some solid cuts of beef there. That's awesome.
You got a butcher shop you like?
No, I actually just beg and plead with whoever's behind the counter to help me.
Oh, there you go.
And sometimes I'll talk with my dad. I'll call him on the phone and I'll snap photos and send to him because I don't know what I'm buying.
Fisher's
Oh,
meat
funny.
in Issaquah.
Oh, Fisher's is
the
good.
best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So since we're talking about holiday and holiday memories, and again, you've been on the show before, so we went down memory lane, but I want you to narrow it into a holiday memory here of the home you grew up with. What were some of your traditions that you remember fondly?
I always, I remember trying to stay awake, but then I would always get up in the middle of the night and grab my stocking. So I always hacked into that before Christmas.
Oh, you're funny.
I just waited for them to, finish up, and I would
For
just
Santa Claus to drop it off, and then
I would
boom.
just grab my stocking and rifle through it, and then in the morning,
Oh, fun.
yeah.
Awesome.
Your company is called Troth & Company. What does
Mhm.
Troth mean?
Troth means commitment and loyalty. It's so exciting to me. I'm so proud of it, and the loyalty and commitment is what I have for my clients. If you work with me, you understand it's a partnership, and being a broker means that I can serve you in this amazing capacity where we can take you to the right carrier that's the best for you. It's going to give you the best benefits. We can help you with your health care costs, and it's all for you, because I work for my clients, not the carriers. So it's a great opportunity to build that into the name of the new agency.
Awesome.
That's nice. As a client, I would say that you talk the talk and walk the walk. It's just been terrific working with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think
Appreciate it.
everybody reflects that sentiment. And so as you look at this is your company now.
Mm-hmm.
You've opened up your doors because of this philosophy of that loyalty to your clients. So what are the menu of services that you offer?
I do Medicare planning for individuals who are Medicare eligible, 65 and older, or sometimes you're Medicare eligible if you are on disability for more than 2 years. I also do healthcare planning and employee benefits for small groups. So a small group for me is an employer that employs fewer than 51 full-time employees per calendar year.
Okay. So what roadblocks do you see employers facing in offering or not offering health care?
Number one is cost. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
feeling it. Everyone's talking about it. We're all talking about it. Every year at renewal, the cost is huge.
Right.
So the cost is going to come into play somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the top roadblock.
That's what's keeping employers from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then what are some of the thing that employers can do to be able to either afford it or improve what they can afford to the consumer or to their employees? Yeah.
So there's a few things you can do. You can do cost sharing with your employees. There's a lot of great things you can do. The cost sharing can reduce your payroll taxes.
What's cost sharing?
So cost sharing is depending on the amount of employees you have, your employee can pay a portion of their health care as well.
So is there a certain number of employees you have to cost share, or?
It depends on the carrier. So
Okay.
it's based on the carrier's underwriting guidelines.
So it's the carrier's, not the employer's prerogative.
No, it is the carriers. Yep. Well, the employer can say, "Hey, we're going to cover 100% of the employees. We'll cover 50% of your kiddos and spouses." So that is an option for the employers as well.
So what's new in the healthcare market?
Oh, what I see in the small group market right now is a product that I love that hasn't really been talked about. They're not buying out big advertising at Questfield, but there's a self-insured product for the small group market, which is great. Because when you think of self-insured, you always think of big companies like Boeing, and so for the little guy, it's never been an option. It's not something you thought about. You would assume that it's not an option for you as a small business owner, but it is. And typically on these plans, you're going to see rates that are 30% less. They're more benefit rich. There's no balance billing on them. And depending on the use that you have with your health care, you can get 30 to 50% of your premiums back.
So what does that look like?
Wow.
Self-insured. That means I pay my own medical bills and get reimbursed, or I'm a sole proprietor or 1099 individual, and I'm essentially insuring myself.
So you can be a 1099 in this market where you're not in the traditional healthcare market. This is a product that's got funding built into it. So a portion of your premium is going to go to pay for the healthcare expenses that your group has.
Okay, got it. So basically, part of your premium is used to pay for expenses.
Stop loss coverage, yep.
I gotcha.
So it's a great, it is a great opportunity for some of these smaller companies that are saying, hey, look, we don't have the budget for it right now because it is a pretty big expense.
So then
Right.
do they go to major carriers?
They are the carrier.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what's the name of them?
So the carrier that I work with is National General. They've been in business over 100 years. They're a
Oh.
great carrier, but they're not the carrier that's splashing their name all over Questfield. You're not going to see a ton of advertising. They're not running spots.
But like if I go to my doctor and I got to double check they take this carrier, is there a high probability they're
Yeah.
going to take that? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, and there's
And
no
I think that's the concern, right?
Yeah, there's no network on it. Yeah, that is the concern if you haven't heard of it, because it is a little bit different than your traditional staying inside of a network. And
PPO.
Yep.
I don't know. I was going to throw a bunch of other letters around, but I can't remember what they are. And so I mean, because that was a big deal. Lisa, my wife, our insurance switched, right? So we had to make the calls like, hey,
Right.
eye doctor, are you guys on this
Yeah.
one? And hey, are you on that one? And all that stuff. And if I can't get my crazy pills, I get really crazy.
yeah, we want to make sure you
Just
don't run out of that.
Just joking.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Sorry, just joking.
Oh.
The other piece of that is we're so blessed in this area with all the jobs that are available and all the great companies
Mhm.
to work for. But if you don't have benefits, it's the number one reason that an employee will change jobs.
For
So-
benefits.
Mhm.
Employee retention.
Employee
tool.
retention is key. So
Right.
there's a piece of it that, maybe it doesn't look all that affordable, but there's this other piece of it is that you just can't afford not to have it.
Right.
There's those
Right.
key
Return on
people.
investment.
Yeah, there's those key people that make your business just run day in and day out. So
So how do you, switching gears from benefits for employees, let's switch to Medicare clients, which I know are your faves, right? How do you impact the lives of them?
okay, so Medicare is a fairly large beast. Medicare is full of all kinds of different costs and penalties and networks and no networks and drug plans and timelines. And so once you get into Medicare, your first time enrolling is kind of confusing. You get hit with tons of marketing.
Yeah, and Medicare people, they don't even know what they're doing. As a new Medicare recipient, I spent a ton of time on the phone just trying to deal with Medicare directly until Angel stepped in and boom, problem solved.
Thank you.
So, but it was interesting to
you.
me because even the people that work there didn't have mastery of a lot of their own protocols.
Yeah, it's personal. It's such personal planning. And so, when I sit down with my clients, it's always, how did it go? What worked? What didn't work? What hit? What
Right.
missed? Where are your doctors at now? Is there anything coming up? Are we looking at replacing any joints? What's happening? And in this last year, I had a few of my clients were diagnosed with cancer. Well, those are really big expenses.
Those are big. Yeah.
Those are knockout expenses. And so changing their plans literally saved them thousands and thousands of dollars. And in retirement, every penny counts. So it's very important planning. I work with 10 carriers. I have 96 plans in King County alone.
Wow.
And so it's nice to have somebody sit down and advocate for you and listen
Right.
to you and shop for you. Keep in mind your budget, your physicians, your needs, your pharmacy, what's most important to you.
Angel, what kind of options are available for planning ahead for health care in retirement?
Okay, so healthcare in retirement, there's a few things you can do. There's a lot of talk about long-term care, which is important because a lot of us are facing our parents aging, and we see these long-term care expenses are nearly impossible to absorb. They're nearly impossible to save for as well. Long-term care coverage is something that's super important. There's some planning that we can do in Medicare along the way in terms of just those annual check-ins to see. It's amazing you can save thousands of dollars every year by changing your pharmacy or your drug plan, and you can do that every year. It's a quick, easy check-in. So there's all kinds of things that you can do to kind of bring those costs down.
Good to know. Angel, how do our listeners reach you?
You can ring me on my office line. It's 425-616-2867. Or you can email me at angel@trothandco.com. It's ANGEL@TROTHANDCO.com.
Angel, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Any special offers for our listeners?
Well, of course, I would love to meet everybody. So, I'm happy to do a complimentary review on your insurance plans.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Remember that all of our segments are available to watch at our YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about any of our guests, please subscribe. Join us after the break for some final thoughts and something fun to do this holiday.